The story of Jesus' apostles is not just a tale of spiritual leadership and courage, but also a testament to tragic and inspiring endings that shaped early Christianity. Did you know that, as Christianity spread, the apostles faced fates as dramatic as their missions were grand? Each apostle, from Peter to Matthias, lived and died in ways that reveal both the depth of their faith and the intense persecutions they endured. These devoted followers not only founded the church but also, through their heroic deaths, contributed to the spread of Jesus' message. Peter, the transformation from fisherman to leader. Peter was initially just a simple fisherman. His life changed completely when he met Jesus, which gave him a new vision and purpose. From a man dedicated to his daily work, he transformed into one of the most prominent leaders of the Christian church. Imagine the change Peter underwent, trading his fishing nets for the responsibility of guiding a new faith. This journey was not easy, but it demonstrated how faith can transform lives. Peter's martyrdom, being crucified upside down, symbolizes the humility and devotion he achieved throughout his life. Peter requested to be crucified upside down because he did not feel worthy to die in the same manner as Jesus. This extreme sacrifice illustrates the depth of his faith and how willing he was to suffer for his beliefs. Peter also played a crucial role in the foundation of the early church. His leadership not only helped solidify the Christian faith but also established a strong foundation for the growth of Christianity. His work in evangelizing and organizing the first Christian communities showed his commitment to Jesus' cause. Peter's example invites us to reflect on how willing we are to sacrifice for our beliefs. We can learn from Peter's willingness to give up his life to fulfill his mission. Consider how your own actions might reflect your commitment to your convictions. Despite the challenges and difficulties, Peter remained steadfast in his faith until the end. His life and death show us the transformative power of faith and the importance of dedicating oneself fully to a greater purpose. Reflecting on Peter's legacy, we can seek ways to apply that same dedication and courage in our own lives. This leads us to consider the role of other apostles and how their stories also influenced the Christian faith. John, the beloved disciple and revelation. John, Jesus' beloved disciple, had a remarkable life that extended into old age. His influence on the early church is significant, especially through the writings he left us, such as the Book of Revelation. This book, filled with visions and prophecies, offers a unique perspective on the future and the spiritual struggle the church would face. John's long life was not only a testament to his faith but also a gift to Jesus' followers, who found hope and guidance in his words. The importance of John's theological and pastoral contributions cannot be underestimated. His writings helped shape Christian doctrine and provided a foundation for Christian spirituality. Revelation, in particular, offers a powerful and symbolic vision of the end times, inspiring and challenging Christians to live with integrity and hope. John was also known for his deep spiritual connection with Jesus. He not only witnessed Jesus' miracles but also shared an intimate relationship with the Master. This closeness gave him a unique perspective, reflected in his writings and teachings. His life and work are a clear example of how a deep connection with faith can result in lasting and meaningful influence. John's example leads us to reflect on the importance of our own relationship with spirituality. To what extent are we seeking a deep connection with our beliefs? John's legacy encourages us to explore our faith more deeply and to find ways to share that experience with others. As we reflect on John's impact, we might consider how we are contributing to our faith community. Just as John left a lasting legacy, we can seek ways to use our own gifts and knowledge to strengthen and inspire our community. This reflection prepares us to consider the martyrdom of James the Greater and how his story also shaped Christianity. James the Greater, the first martyr among the apostles. James the Greater stands out as the first apostle to be martyred, an event that had a profound impact on the early church. James was executed by beheading under the orders of King Herod Agrippa I around 44 AD. His death was not merely an act of persecution but a powerful symbol of the cost of his faith. This martyrdom brought a new wave of hostility against Christians and heightened the opposition to the new faith. James' martyrdom had a significant impact on Christian history. As the first apostle to suffer such a fate, his execution marked a turning point, intensifying the persecution of Christians. However, his death also strengthened the resolve of Jesus' followers, demonstrating the level of commitment and courage required to defend the faith. James' willingness to sacrifice his life illustrates the depth of his devotion to Christ and his mission. James' death also highlights the intensity of the hardships faced by the early Christians. Instead of discouraging them, James' martyrdom helped reinforce the Christian cause. Each persecution and martyrdom, including James, not only solidified the faith of Christians but also contributed to the spread of Christianity as the apostles continued to preach and inspire new converts, even in the face of great risks. James' example leads us to reflect on how we face our own adversities. Just as James maintained his faith firm until the end, we might ask ourselves how we handle challenges and difficulties in our daily lives. The courage demonstrated by James serves as an inspiration for us to uphold our faith and perseverance in tough times. As we explore James' legacy, we are prompted to consider how other apostles, such as Andrew, also faced their own trials and contributed to Christ's mission. James' story prepares us to examine Andrew's role and the impact of his martyrdom on the spread of Christianity. Andrew, the first called, and the martyrdom on the X-shaped cross. Andrew, Peter's brother, was the first disciple called by Jesus, and his role in the early church is notable. His story is marked by a deep commitment to Christ's mission, from the moment he was called to follow Jesus until his martyrdom. Andrew was among the first to recognize and accept Jesus' call, highlighting the significance of his initial response to the faith. Andrew's martyrdom is particularly significant. He was crucified on an X-shaped cross, also known as St. Andrew's Cross, in Patras, Greece. The choice of this cross shape was made by Andrew as a symbol of his humility and his desire not to be crucified in the same manner as Jesus. His death is a powerful example of how he continued to preach and live his faith until the very end. Andrew's role in spreading Christianity was essential. After being called by Jesus, he played an active role in disseminating the Christian message, traveling to various regions and sharing the gospel. His dedication and missionary work contributed significantly to the growth of the early church. Reflecting on Andrew's life and martyrdom invites us to consider how we respond to our own callings. Just as Andrew responded promptly to Jesus' invitation and dedicated his life to the mission, we might ask ourselves how we are responding to our own calling and what steps we are taking to actively and wholeheartedly live out our faith. Andrew's example also prepares us to examine the role of Philip, another apostle who, like Andrew, faced challenges and made sacrifices for the sake of Christianity. The life and martyrdom of Philip offer additional perspective on the dedication and challenges faced by Jesus' followers. Philip, the preacher abroad and the ultimate sacrifice. Philip, one of Jesus' apostles, played a significant role as a preacher in foreign lands. He is known for bringing the message of Christ to various regions beyond Palestine, including parts of Egypt and Asia Minor. His mission was not easy. He faced many challenges and persecutions while trying to evangelize these distant lands. Philip's work is an example of how faith can drive someone to overcome obstacles and fully dedicate themselves to spreading the gospel. Philip's ultimate sacrifice is a testament to his dedication and courage. He was martyred in Hierapolis, Phrygia, modern-day Turkey, where he was crucified. The account of his martyrdom highlights the severity of the persecutions faced by the apostles and the intensity of their devotion. Philip's willingness to endure crucifixion demonstrates the real cost of his mission and the depth of his commitment to Jesus. Philip's missionary work also underscores the importance of carrying the message of Christ beyond traditional borders. His efforts helped establish Christianity in new and challenging regions, expanding the reach of the faith and creating new communities of believers. Philip's story inspires us to consider how we can contribute to the growth of our own faith and share our beliefs with others. As we reflect on Philip's life and sacrifice, we are prompted to question how we respond to challenges in our own lives. Are we willing to face difficulties and make sacrifices for our beliefs? Philip's story encourages us to tackle our own challenges with courage and determination. In exploring Philip's legacy, we prepare to examine the life and martyrdom of Bartholomew, another apostle who faced great trials in his mission to spread Christianity. Bartholomew, the mystery and the martyrdom. Bartholomew, also known as Nathanael, is one of the apostles whose life and martyrdom involve a certain mystery. Little is known about the exact details of his life, but traditions and historical accounts point to a deep commitment to Jesus' mission. Bartholomew is remembered for his immediate faith in recognizing Jesus as the Son of God, demonstrating an open and receptive heart to the Christian message from the start. Bartholomew's martyrdom is surrounded by various traditions. Some sources claim he was crucified upside down, while others report that he was burned alive and later decapitated. Regardless of the exact details, his death reflects the intensity of the persecutions faced by the apostles. His willingness to endure such trials exemplifies the depth of his faith and commitment to the Christian cause. The impact of Bartholomew's sacrifice on the spread of the Christian faith is significant. His readiness to face death for his beliefs helped strengthen the gospel message and inspire others to follow Jesus. Bartholomew's courage in enduring martyrdom, despite severe persecutions, serves as a powerful testament to the power and truth of the Christian message. Reflecting on Bartholomew's life and martyrdom challenges us to consider how we handle challenges and adversities in our own lives. Bartholomew invites us to examine our willingness to maintain faith in the face of difficulties and to find inspiration in his courage and commitment. As we explore Bartholomew's legacy, we prepare for the next step, which is the life and martyrdom of Thomas. Just as Bartholomew faced his own trials, Thomas's life offers an additional perspective on the faith and dedication of the apostles. Thomas, doubt and the confession of faith. Thomas, also known as Didymus, is one of the most memorable apostles due to his initial doubt about Jesus' resurrection. The famous passage where Thomas declares that he will only believe in the resurrection if he touches Jesus' wounds illustrates the depth of his doubts and, at the same time, his sincere desire to understand the truth. However, when Jesus appeared to him and offered the proof Thomas sought, he made one of the most powerful confessions of faith, "My Lord and my God." Thomas's missionary work after his confession of faith is notable. He traveled to India, where he devoted himself to preaching the gospel and establishing Christian communities. His mission in India is a clear example of how the apostles were dedicated to spreading Jesus' message, undertaking long and challenging journeys to bring the faith to new territories. Thomas's influence in India is still recognized today, with many local traditions honoring him as one of the founders of Christianity in the country. Thomas's martyrdom is also a testament to his faith. He was martyred in Chennai, formerly known as Chennai, India, where he was pierced by spears by soldiers. The fact that Thomas remained steadfast in his faith until the end, even after enduring severe trials and threats, reinforces the strength of his belief and commitment to Jesus' mission. Reflecting on Thomas's journey leads us to question how we handle our own doubts and challenges in our spiritual lives. Just as Thomas overcame his doubt and made a powerful confession, we are invited to consider how we can confront our own uncertainties and strengthen our faith. As we explore Thomas's legacy, we prepare to examine the role of James, the son of Alphaeus, a lesser-known apostle, but whose life and martyrdom offer an additional perspective on the dedication of Jesus' followers. James, son of Alphaeus, the lesser-known apostle. James, the son of Alphaeus, is one of the lesser-known apostles, but his role in spreading the gospel should not be underestimated. Despite his less prominent presence in the scriptures, James played an important role in disseminating Jesus' message. His life is a reminder that all followers of Christ, regardless of their level of visibility, have a valuable and significant role in God's mission. James faced challenges and adversities during his missionary life. As an apostle, he was responsible for sharing Jesus' message in various regions and dealing with the difficulties that arose along the way. His martyrdom is an example of courage and faith. Although the details of his death are less documented, tradition holds that he was martyred somewhere in the region of Judea, possibly by stoning. The sacrifice of James, the son of Alphaeus, highlights the importance of followers of Jesus who, despite their lack of notoriety, play essential roles in building the church. The dedication and faith of these lesser-known apostles are crucial for the expansion of Christianity and the strengthening of the believer community. Reflecting on James' life and martyrdom encourages us to value and recognize the importance of all members of the Christian community, regardless of their role or visibility. James' life reminds us that every act of faith, no matter how small it may seem, contributes to God's greater purpose. As we explore James' legacy, we prepare to examine the fervor and dedication of Simon the Zealot, who also faced significant challenges in his mission to spread the Christian faith. Simon the Zealot, persecution in Persia. Simon the Zealot is known for his fervor and dedication to Christianity. Originally a member of a radical group called the Zealots, which opposed Roman rule, his transformation from a zealot to an apostle of Jesus is a striking example of how faith can radically change a person and direct their life toward a higher purpose. Simon's missionary work took him to Persia, where he faced intense persecution for his beliefs. His willingness to endure such adversity demonstrates the seriousness with which he undertook his mission to spread the gospel. Simon, along with Judas Thaddeus, faced the consequences of their faith with courage and determination, even knowing the dangers that awaited them. The persecution and martyrdom of Simon reflect the harshness of the times for early Christians. Tradition holds that he was crucified in Persia, a fate that underscores the cost of his mission. Simon's courage in continuing his preaching under such conditions reinforces the importance of faithfulness and commitment to the Christian cause, even in the face of great challenges. Simon the Zealot's story invites us to reflect on how we respond to challenges in our own lives. His willingness to face persecution and death for his beliefs inspires us to consider how we can be more resolute in our own faith and commitment to Jesus' message. As we explore Simon the Zealot's legacy, we prepare to examine the work and martyrdom of Judas Thaddeus, another apostle whose life and sacrifice played a significant role in the spread of Christianity. Judas Thaddeus, work in Mesopotamia and martyrdom. Judas Thaddeus, also known as Judas, son of James, played a crucial role in the mission to spread the gospel, especially in the regions of Mesopotamia and Persia. Although his name is often confused with Judas Iscariot, Thaddeus is remembered for his loyalty to Jesus and his dedication to preaching the Christian message. Judas Thaddeus' mission in Mesopotamia involved confronting various cultures and religions, which was no easy task. He worked diligently to establish Christian communities and share Jesus' message in a region marked by great diversity and religious opposition. Thaddeus' perseverance amid such challenges reflects the apostles' commitment to bringing the good news to all peoples. The martyrdom of Judas Thaddeus is a testament to the intensity of the persecutions faced by early Christians. Tradition holds that he was martyred by being beaten to death, and in some accounts, he was also beheaded. His death was a direct consequence of his preaching and his determination to continue Jesus' mission despite violence and resistance. Judas Thaddeus' legacy reminds us of the importance of maintaining faith and courage in the face of adversity. His life and martyrdom are inspiring examples of how dedication to the Christian mission can lead to great sacrifices but also to the fulfillment of a higher purpose. As we reflect on Judas Thaddeus' sacrifice, we prepare to explore the role of Matthias, the apostle chosen to replace Judas Iscariot, and how he contributed to the expansion of Christianity while facing his own challenges. Matthias, the replacement of Judas Iscariot. Matthias, chosen to replace Judas Iscariot after his betrayal and death, is a significant example of how God can use even moments of crisis to fulfill his purposes. Matthias' selection as an apostle serves as a reminder that Jesus' mission remained a priority, despite traitors and challenges. Matthias being chosen to fill the gap left by Judas Iscariot demonstrates the ongoing commitment to spreading the gospel. Matthias preached in various regions, including Judea and Ethiopia, facing a challenging environment. He worked to establish churches and strengthen the faith of new converts, highlighting the importance of an apostle in maintaining the cohesion and expansion of the Christian community. His dedication exemplifies the vital role of the apostles in building the early church, even after the loss of a significant member. According to tradition, Matthias was martyred by stoning and decapitation. This sacrifice illustrates the high cost of the apostolic mission and the depth of faith required to face such a fate. Matthias' death underscores the lasting impact the apostles' example had on the early Christians' determination to maintain their faith despite great adversity. Reflecting on Matthias' life and martyrdom leads us to consider how each of us can play a role in Jesus' mission, regardless of the difficulties. Matthias' perseverance in his missionary work and his willingness to face martyrdom inspire us to stay focused on our own calling and purpose, even when faced with challenges. As we explore Matthias' legacy, we prepare to examine the impact of the apostles' sacrifices on early Christianity and how their contributions shaped the church and the spread of the Christian faith. The impact of the apostles' sacrifices on early Christianity. The sacrifices of the apostles had a profound and lasting impact on the formation and expansion of early Christianity. Each apostle, through their life and death, contributed to the foundation of the church and the spread of Jesus' message. Their efforts were crucial in establishing a solid foundation upon which the Christian faith could grow and expand. The martyrdoms of the apostles were not merely tragic events but pivotal moments that galvanized the Christian community. The courage and determination of the apostles to face persecution and death for their faith served as a powerful testament to other followers of Jesus. These sacrifices demonstrated the depth of belief and the unwavering commitment of the apostles to Christ's mission, encouraging new converts to remain steadfast in their faith. Moreover, the apostles' sacrifices helped spread Christianity beyond the borders of Palestine. Their missionary journeys and work in different regions contributed to the expansion of Christianity into areas such as Asia Minor, Europe, and Africa. The example of the apostles inspired others to join the cause and continue the work of evangelization. The significance of these sacrifices is also reflected in how the early church organized and developed its structures. The need for leadership and organization to support and protect new Christians led to the establishment of various institutions and practices that shaped the church. The apostles were fundamental in this process, and their experiences helped define the guidelines and spirituality of the early church. As we reflect on the impact of the apostles' sacrifices, we prepare to explore the teachings they left as a spiritual legacy. These teachings continue to influence and inspire Christian spirituality to this day. The Apostles' teachings as a spiritual legacy. The teachings of the Apostles play a fundamental role in the spiritual legacy of Christianity. Each apostle, with their experience and knowledge, contributed to the formation of Christian doctrine and the development of the spirituality that shaped the early church. Their teachings not only helped establish the foundation of the Christian faith but also provided guidelines for Christians throughout the ages. The apostles conveyed the core principles of Jesus' message, including the importance of love, faith, and salvation. They taught about the life and teachings of Jesus, emphasizing how Christians should live according to these principles. Through their letters and preaching, the apostles addressed practical and spiritual issues, offering advice on how to face challenges and maintain faith amidst trials. Furthermore, the apostles encouraged the formation of Christian communities and the strengthening of faith through practice and prayer. They helped establish the structure and practices of the church, promoting the importance of worship, fellowship, and charity. Their teachings emphasize the need to live in unity and love and to support one another in the spiritual journey. The writings and traditions left by the apostles continue to be a source of inspiration and guidance for Christians today. Their teachings are studied and applied in various forms, from preaching and religious education to everyday life. The wisdom and spirituality of the apostles remain a valuable guide for those seeking to follow Jesus' path and live according to Christian principles. As we reflect on the apostles' spiritual legacy, we prepare to explore the value of faithfulness and sacrifice in the Christian tradition and how these examples continue to impact contemporary Christian life. The value of faithfulness and sacrifice in Christian tradition. The value of faithfulness and sacrifice is central to Christian tradition, powerfully exemplified by the apostles and their dedicated lives. Faithfulness to the faith, even in the face of adversity, is seen as an essential virtue for followers of Jesus. The apostles demonstrated this faithfulness by enduring persecutions and martyrdom, showing that belief in Christ was at the center of their lives. Personal sacrifice is a fundamental aspect of the Christian life, reflecting Jesus' own sacrifice on the cross. By giving up their lives for the Christian mission, the apostles exemplified what it means to live a life of total dedication and commitment. These sacrifices are considered models for Christians, inspiring them to live with courage and determination, even when facing difficulties. Christian tradition deeply values the example of the apostles, as their lives and deaths serve as a testament to the power of faith and the importance of living according to Christ's principles. The faithfulness and sacrifice of the apostles not only helped establish the early church but also continue to be a beacon of inspiration for Christians throughout the ages. The practice of faithfulness and sacrifice in daily life can manifest in various ways, from dedication to community service to perseverance through personal challenges. By emulating the examples of the apostles, Christians are encouraged to live in a manner that honors the faith and contributes to the well-being of others. As we reflect on the value of faithfulness and sacrifice, we prepare to explore the legends and myths surrounding the apostles, separating historical truths from popular fictions and traditions. As we reflect on the tragic fates of Jesus' apostles, we are confronted with a legacy of faith and sacrifice that transcends time. The lives and deaths of these extraordinary men are not just chapters in history, they are living lessons in commitment and courage. Have you ever stopped to consider how these examples might inspire your own spiritual journey? The apostles faced unimaginable challenges, but their example continues to remind us of the importance of maintaining faith, even in the face of the greatest adversities. If you feel that your faith needs renewal or if you are seeking a deeper purpose, why not reflect on the legacy of these heroes of faith? Subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications for more content that helps to strengthen and enrich your spiritual journey.